Today's topic is uniform circular motion. Then non-uniform circular motion and acceleration, like centripetal acceleration. We shall derive the formula of centripetal acceleration or radial component of acceleration. What is meant by uniform circular motion? Uniform means a same meaning, a circular motion. See, when an object follows a circular path, suppose if this is a center and this is an object which is moving in a circular path with constant speed, not constant velocity, with constant speed, then the path of the object is following circular motion, and thus body said to be or object said to be uniform circular motion. Right. So when an object moves with a constant speed in a circular path, then the object said to be in uniform circular motion. Suppose same object with a varying speed, with not constant speed, with varying speed, then the body is said to be in non-uniform circular motion. Varying speed. So that is called as non-uniform circular motion. Okay. So this is uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion. See, constant speed, suppose when the object is here, this is called as velocity vector, and when object is here, this is called as velocity vector, and when object is this is a velocity vector, because at a particular point the tangent can be drawn, that gives the velocity. So here point to point the velocity direction is changing, magnitude of velocity remains constant. Magnitude of velocity remains constant. Remains a constant. Here the magnitude is varying, direction obviously varying. So when both are varying, this is called as a non-uniform circular motion. Now when particularly velocity is changing, then definitely there is arising of acceleration, which is called as a centripetal acceleration. Now what is the formula for centripetal acceleration and how can we write that? Generally, what is the direction of centripetal acceleration and what is the acceleration formula in terms of radius or in terms of magnitude of velocity a comma v comma r. Today we will derive the relation between acceleration, velocity and r. How it can be? Let's see in a simple method. Now let's see when an object moving in a circular path, let's say this is center C. Let us try to understand a simple object, a point P here, and this is called a velocity vector v, and when the object moves in a circular path, and let it be, this is called as p dash and this is called as velocity vector v dash. See, of course this is vector can be drawn r dash and this vector can be drawn r vector, and this is, so from the center to P is a r vector, from center to P dash r dash vector. Now the combination of the two vectors by using a triangle of vector addition is this is called as a resultant of this one. I can write it as delta r vector. Now I would write it as r vector plus delta r vector is equals to r dash vector, because this is in the reverse order. Now the angle between the r vector and r dash vector is called as delta theta. Now here you can write simply delta r vector is equal to r dash vector minus r vector. Now the next instant, let's see that the time interval is reduced from point P to P dash in the next instant, and how the velocity vectors can be seen with the same manner. Let's say simple analyze it. So this is simply parallel to this one. This is called as v vector and this is called as v dash vector, and this is called as delta v vector. Delta v vector. You also write it here, v plus delta v vector is equal to r dash vector, sorry, v dash vector. Now delta v vector is equal to v dash minus v vector. Now you can understand that one simple logic is, this is called as delta r vector and this is called as delta v vector. Now r and delta v vector perpendicular to each other. Simply this is r vector and this is v vector. So mutually perpendicular. Now next choosing a second instant on the same circular path, but we will go with the interval of time between P and P dash can be reduced. Let's see that. Again same, just here this is the next point here. This is called point P. This is velocity vector and this again reducing down here. This is v dash vector and this is center. This is center C. Now how to write the vectors? Let's see that. R vector, r dash vector and delta r vector. Now how it can be? Let's simply analyze it. Here just simple v vector and this is v dash vector and this is delta v vector. Delta v vector almost the perpendicular, just you observe it, just I have drawn in a different way. This is, here you observe it, delta r vector and delta v vector are perpendicular, right? Next, reducing time interval to be very less again. How to take up this? And this is C and I am choosing P dash and P are both are converged, mixed together. Then what happens? This is velocity vector, this is velocity vector and this is acceleration vector. Why I am taking acceleration vector? So delta v is nothing but the acceleration direction, and velocity and accelerations are perpendicular to each other. Now how to achieve the same thing? See here, as delta theta is there, now I am writing same as a delta theta, because if one triangle I am extracting here, C, P dash and P, CP, this is delta theta angle. So these are the two lines, let's say two lines, blue lines are making angle theta, delta theta. Now draw a perpendicular to this one, draw a perpendicular to this one. Now this is one kind of vector, like the perpendicular lines are also making delta theta. So you can write it as QRS. Here C, P, P dash and QRS are similar triangles. They are called as similar triangles. So when you are considering similar triangles, then what is that? The ratios are same. How this is? Delta R by R from the triangle QRS and delta R by R is equals to delta V by V. See that from the triangle QRS we will write delta V by V, the ratios of the sides, and delta R by R are same. Now how to write this? From this, delta V is equals to delta R by R into V. Don't cancel VV here, don't cancel RR, they are delta R with term included. Now average acceleration, and how to calculate this? Acceleration is equals to limit delta t approaches to 0, delta V by delta t, which is nothing but an acceleration. Now acceleration is equals to limit delta t tends to 0, delta V substitute here, delta R by delta t into 1 by R into V. Just I am taking outside as V by R, then you can write it as limit delta t tends to 0, delta R by delta t. So delta R by delta t limit, that is nothing but average velocity. When you apply limit and approaching delta t interval reducing to 0, then this is becoming velocity, which is called as instantaneous velocity V. A is equal to V square by R. A is equals to V square by R. This is the magnitude of the acceleration, and direction is always towards the center and perpendicular to velocity vector. And here the acceleration direction is always toward the center, but changing the point here somewhere. If you choose a point here, this is the acceleration A, and always is tending to towards the center. This is centripetal acceleration. It's a vector but not constant vector. The acceleration vector is not constant vector. Okay, the magnitude of acceleration A is equals to the magnitude of speed square by, if small r is equal to capital R, where R is the radius of the circle, R is the radius of the circle, sometimes we refer with capital R also, radius of the circle, and this is the formula. And when you choose this, a tangential component of acceleration becomes 0 because the change in magnitude in that particular tangential direction is 0, but radial direction is always present, that is a perpendicular component or radial component of acceleration or centripetal acceleration, which is always towards the center. Now the acceleration can also be expressed in terms of angular speed or angular velocity. Now let's see a simple circular path and center C, let's see, and we have observed that a point P is there, point P dash is there, and R vector, R dash vector, and this is called as delta theta, this is called as arc, this is called as arc, let's say delta S. The time taken to travel from, taken the object travel from P to P dash might be delta T time, delta T. Now how to write this one? Let's say delta theta is equal to, if you choose that, R into R, let's say simple, delta S is equals to R into delta theta, arc. So angle is equal to arc by radius. Now what is that? Delta S by delta T, let's say R into delta theta by delta T. So angular displacement by time, rate of change of angle, nothing but angular velocity, rate of change of displacement or rate of change of with respect to time, this is called as linear velocity V, this is, and this is equals to angular velocity. Sometimes if they give it as a simple circular path with radius R, then see, simply we will write it as V is equals to R omega, V is equals to R omega. So this is simple to transform, to calculate angular to linear, linear to angular. Omega, this is a Greek word, we represent it omega, not W. Next, how to write centripetal acceleration? Simply V square by R. So A is equal to R omega whole square by R. We will write it as R square omega square by R, and we will write it as simply omega square R is the magnitude of the centripetal acceleration in terms of angular speed. What is omega in a circular path? Generally, it's an angle by time. Let us say one complete rotation is 2 pi, the time taken to complete one rotation is time period 2 pi by t. But we know that 1 by t is equals to f, or sometimes refers nu. So we will represent it as f. So omega is equals to 2 pi f, is a linear frequency. Now if you want to write this one, linear velocity 2 pi f into r. So these are the formulas which are helpful to solve the problems. Let's see a simple problem where the insect trapped over a circular groove as a folded circular foil. Its radius is 12 centimeters. Move along the groove steadily, of course, constant speed, let's say. Completes 7 revolutions, rotations in 100 seconds. What is the angular speed and linear speed of the motion? Is the acceleration is a constant vector or not? And what is the magnitude of it? Let's see that simple what they have given and what we have to find out. Of course, r is equals to 12 centimeters. And time period is not for one rotation is given, it's for 7 revolutions time is given. Let's try to find out time taken for one rotation, that is what happens, which is 100 seconds for 7 rotations, and for one rotation 100 by 7. This is called time period. Now what is asked actually? They asked angular speed. Angular speed is equals to 2 pi by t. Now 2 pi as it is, but t is 100 by 7. Now you can write it as 2 pi into 7 by 100, which is equals to 0.44 radians per second, which is the angular speed. The units are 0.4, sorry, units are radians per second, means angle is in terms of radians and by time is seconds. Next, what is meant by linear speed and how to calculate? We got it as angular speed. Now what is linear speed? V is equals to r omega. V is equals to r omega. What is r actually? 12 centimeters. I am not converting it to meters because answer to be also centimeters per second, into 0.44. What is that actually? This is if you take it as 5.34 centimeter per second approximately. Let's see, if you want to take it to, simply you write it as 5.3 centimeters per second. Next, what is the magnitude of the acceleration? Now this is A, this is B, and magnitude of acceleration from this V square by R. Now what is there? 5.3 whole square by 12 centimeters. Just 5 5s are 25 and 26 by 12 around, you will get 2.3 centimeter per second square. This is the acceleration. And what they asked is the acceleration vector is constant vector. No, because acceleration is always, it is always towards center of this circle. So it continuously changing its direction, and so that it's not the constant vector. It's not the constant vector, because here now this is a point you choose. This is acceleration vector. If you choose this is acceleration vector, and if you choose this is a acceleration vector where it is directed always towards center. Now a simple problem. Say a particle projected in a slantwise from the ground, and the magnitude of position vector concept is involved here with respect to the point of projection and the body reaching it when it is at highest point, means maximum height. Path found to be √2 times of the maximum height reached by it. Show that the angle of projection is tan inverse of root 2. So don't confuse with the explanation of the problem. When we solve, you can understand easily. So this is reference to us. This is called as point of projection, and generally this is called as a projectile. Right? Now when it is with initial velocity v0, making with the horizontal is theta or theta naught, whatever it is, and this is a simple called as point where this is completely said to be highest point, right? So this is the corresponding the x-axis reference. What is this? This is called as total range, point of projection to point of landing, the distance between them is range r. Now if you observe it, the distance from the point of projection to the vertical line that has been drawn to this one is called as r by 2 up to this one. Right? And this the height which is called as h. Right? Now how to represent a vector? Now when you draw a vector in a slantwise, like, so this is point of projection, and this is maximum height or highest point. Now you choose a vector called as position vector. Now this is h and this is r by 2. Now this is vector. This is vector. Now how to write the vector notation? Position vector is equal to x component r by 2 representing positive x direction I vector plus vertical component y coordinate which is called j vector. This is called as the vector form of position vector which is given in the problem. Now what they have given, when it is at highest point of the path, this is called as path. Root 2 times of the maximum height. Now magnitude of the r is equals to root 2 times of the height which is given according to problem. This is not general rule, the problem they have explained it. Right? Now how to calculate the magnitude? Magnitude of the r from this is under root of r by 2 square plus h square. Right? This is the magnitude of r. Now just you write it. I am substituting this one under root of r by 2 whole square plus h square is equals to root 2 h. This is right. Now just squaring on both sides, you will get it as r square by 4 plus h square. I am expanding and cancelling root or over this side. I am writing is simply 2h square, squaring on both sides. Just you imagine. Then what you will get? I will extracting relation between this r square by 4 is equals to h square. This goes to right side, and simply we will write it as h is equals to r by 2. H is equals to r by 2. This was a relation we extracted, but we want angle. We know the formulas of maximum height. We know the formulas of range. Let's simply substitute that. We'll get relation. Maximum height V naught square sine square theta by 2g for a projectile. For range is equals to half as it is. Range is equals to, what is that? V naught square sine 2 theta by g. I think you can cancel it. 2g over there. You can cancel it. V naught square is there. Simply it remained with sine square theta is equal to sine 2 theta. Sine square theta is equals to sine 2 theta means 2 sine theta cos theta. 1 sine theta gets cancelled. It only remains with 1 sine theta is equal to 2 cos theta. Right? Now what happens? You bring this side, sine theta by cos theta is equal to 2, and sine theta by cos theta tan theta is equal to 2. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 2, which is as to show the angle of projection is tan inverse of 2. In that way we can solve the problem. The problem on vector addition, which is there in the problem set. We'll take it as O is a point on the ground as origin, and a body like first suffers displacement 10 root 2 meters northeast, then 10 meters north, then 10 root 2 meters northwest. Now how far it is from the origin? First we need to draw the diagram, then we add the vectors in terms of coordinates or in terms of vectors. We can solve anyway. First, body suffers displacement 10 root 2 meters northwest. See that this is the origin. 10 root 2 meters northeast. This is you can write it as S1 vector. Then north, after that 10 meters due north. Next, northwest 10 root 2 again. So sequentially line to line I am drawing. Either you can also write it as reference. This is S2 vector, this is S3 vector. Now this is origin. How to resolve into components? This is from the x-axis, this is 45 degrees. S1 vector is equals to 10 root 2 cos 45 I plus 10 root 2 sin 45 j. This is called first S1 vector. S1 vector is equal to cos 45 1 by root 2 10 I plus cos sin 45 1 by root 2 is a 10 j. We have obtained S1 vector form. Now S2 with reference to the x-axis, this is purely 90 degrees. No, x component becomes 0. S2 vector is equals to 10 meters cos 90 I plus 10 sin 90 j. Simply S2 vector which is having only y component, which is called 10j. Next, S3 vector. How to write S3 vector? So we always choose reference axis is x-axis only. From the x-axis it is making 145 degrees. See that this east and this is 90 plus 45, sorry, 90 plus 145, 135 degrees here. Now 10 root 2 cos 135 I plus 10 root 2 sin 135 j. So S3 vector is equals to cos 90 plus 45 minus sin 45. So 10 root 2 into minus 1 by root 2 I and sin 90 plus theta cos theta plus cos theta and 10 root 2 plus 1 by root 2 j. So S3 vector is equal to minus 10I plus 10j. So this is S1 vector, S2 vector, S3 vector we obtained. Now if you want to find out resultant vector, you can add x components or directly you can add total vector, no issue. S1 vector, S2 vector and S3 vector. So S1 is 10I plus 10j and S2 is 10j and S3 is minus 10I plus 10j. Here 10I gets cancelled, total 10 plus 10 plus 10, S is equal to S vector is equal to 30j. Now our resultant vector is completely j vector, means it is purely on the y direction. Along the y direction, which is 30 meters. This is plus j vector. Okay. Otherwise, you can write it as x components. You can write it as rx and ry, and you add x components of 3 vectors and y components of 3 vectors where we followed in the earlier method. Then you can write r vector is equal to rxi plus ryj. Any of the procedure is followed, then you will get the answer. Now how do we represent in the graphical format? See, this is 10 to 2 and little 10. If you choose 10 to 2, then length can be also same order. I am extending in a simple thing. This is again 10 root 2 vector. So what is the resultant? We obtained it as in the y direction. So this is the vector which is called as S vector. S vector right, which is representing y direction according to triangular of addition. S1 vector, S2 vector, S3 vector are in the same order, S vector in the reverse order. So a resultant vector is equal to S1 vector, S2 vector and S3 vectors. So what is this? The resultant which is in the red color is indicating exactly y direction. So this is called as a j vector we have obtained it as. So graphically also it is equivalent.